Students, this is part 2 of chapter number 9, Iterative Construct in Java. Here we are going to see the exercise question answers. So in section A, answer the following question. First question is explain the term loop with an example. Okay, the definition is here. A loop is a sequence of instructions that is continually repeated until a certain condition is reached. The following program illustrates the use of for loop. So it is continuing here. This is an example. This is the step-by-step instructions how the loop is executing. Okay. So the step number 5. The second question, name the elements that control a loop. So what are the elements control the loop? Initialization expressions, and you have to write in the details. Then test expression, update expressions, then the body of the loop. Next question, what are the three types of looping statements available in Java? So the three types of looping statements are for, while and do while. Okay. Fourth question, classify loop depending upon the priority in which the test condition is evaluated. So there are two, depending upon the priority, it is divided into two groups, that is entry control loop and exit control loop. So the for loop and while loop are entry control loop, and do while loop is an exit control loop. Okay. Now question number 5, give the general syntax of for loop. So the general syntax of for loop is for first initialization value expressions or value, then test condition is here, then update expression, whether it is an increment expression or a decrement value. Okay. So if the condition is true means it will execute the body of the loop. So this is the general syntax of for loop. Give an example to show how multiple initialization and updations are performed in for loop. So this is the example, that is here I and j are initialized. I is initialized with the value 1 and j is initialized with the value 10. Here we are checking the condition. If I less than or equal to 10, we have to decrement the value of j by 1 and increment the value of I by 1 and print the value of I and j. This is called multiple initialization. Next question is 7th question, what is an empty loop? Give an example. Empty loop means there is no statement inside the curly braces after the for loop, and if the for loop is end with the semicolon, this is also called as a empty loop. State one similarity and one difference between while loop and do while loop. Okay, write one similarity and one difference. State one similarity and one difference between while and for loop. So we have to write only one similarity and one difference. Then what is meant by an infinite loop? Give an example. Infinite loop means that a loop whose expression always result true is an infinite loop. Okay, every time the loop is true, because for I equal to 1, I not equal to 0, I plus plus. So first time I equal to 1, second time I equal to 2, third time I equal to 4. So it is not equal to 0. So every time it will repeat the loop again and again. So it is called as an infinite loop. There is no end for that loop. Question number 11, give the general syntax of while loop. How do you create infinite loop is in while structure. Okay. The next question is give the general syntax for do while loop. How do you create infinite loop while using do while loop? This is the answer. The next question, compare loops according to their usage. You have to compare the for loop, while loop and do while loop. Okay. What are nested loop? Given examples of nested loop to show its functionality. So nested loop means if a loop is used inside another loop, it is called as a nested loop, or loop within another loop is called as a nested loop, and you have to write the example. Name two jump statements that are used. The one is the break statement and another one is the continue statement. Then B, answer as directed. Convert the following segment into an equivalent do loop. Here the statement is in for loops. We are going to convert this for loop into do while loop. Okay. The next question is analyze the following program segment and determine how many times the body of the loop will be executed. Show the working. So this is the segment and this is the answer, how it is working. So 3 times it will execute. The loop executes twice. Okay, the third time it will be a false statement, so it will execute in 2 times. Next is question number 3. Convert the following segment into equivalent for loop. The given loop is in while loop. Program segment is in while loop. We are going to convert into a for loop. Okay. For loop syntax is the initial value, then test condition, then incrementer operator or decrementer operator, and print the value. Okay. Next, what will be the output of the following code? Here the initial value of m is 2 and n is 15, and we have to repeat the loops. So at last we will get the value of m as 3 and n as 15. Next, give the output of the following segment. So every values are there. You have to put the values in the proper place and get the answer. Okay. Next question, give the output of the following program. This is the same question, I think so. Then write a program for the following. Write a program to find the sum of first 10 odd natural numbers. Odd natural numbers means first 10 odd natural numbers means the initial value is 1. Natural numbers start from 1, but it is an odd number, so it is 1 to 90. Okay. Every time we have to increment the value by 2. Next question is write a program to find the sum of first 10 even natural numbers. So the initial value is 2, the final value is 20. Every time we have to increment the value by 2. Okay, students. Now the next one is third question is write a program to find the sum of all 3-digit even natural numbers. So all 3-digit even natural numbers. First 3-digit even number is 100. So the last number is 998. Every time we have to increment the value by 2 and find the sum, and at last you have to print the sum. Then write a program to find the sum of all 3-digit odd natural numbers which are multiples of 5. So it is 101 to 999. So instead of writing all the odd natural numbers, here they change the question as we have to print only the multiples of 5. So every number will be divided by 5. If the remainder is 0, it is the multiples of 5. So if any number is getting the remainder as 0, that number will be added to the sum, and we have to print the value of sum. The last question, write a program to input an integer and find its factorial. Factorial means, what is the factorial of 2? 2 is 1 into 2. 1 into 1 into 2. Factorial of 10 means 1 into 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 into 7 into 8 into 9 into 10. Okay. So factorial of 5 is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Okay. So we have to find the factorial. First start the value of f as 1. The initial value of f is 1, and we have to give the value of n, whether it is 100, 200, 1000 or whatever it may be. It will repeat up to the mark. Then f is equal to f into I. Okay, then we are printing the factorial value here. So students, this is the end of this chapter. You have to learn all the question answers, programs, and give the output of the program segments.